I am so excited. I just can't hide it. I know. I want to, or as I want you. Luke Taylor, Cork and Taylor Wine Podcast, back in the home studio. And I am ecstatic, to say the least. We have the first ever Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. And the crowd goes wild. What is the Cork and Taylor Wine Madness? I'm going to tell you about it. We have 22 wines from 22 previous Cork and Taylor wine guests. They will compete in a single elimination blind tasting tournament bracket. You, the listeners, wine lovers, can participate by filling out a free, let me preface this, free, the best four-letter word that starts with F, free online bracket on the Cork and Taylor Wine Madness page, which is at challonge, CHALLONGE.com/Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. It will be in the show notes or just below. There'll be links on Instagram, on our profile page, and also on some of our stories and stuff like that. So you can enter this free bracket, and you can win some great prizes throughout the tournament. First, second, and third prizes awarded. We have some great partners. We got Silvadore Brands. Maybe win some Argon gas, so you can have gas like me, which could be a good or bad thing. We've got Coravin. They are giving us a fantastic sparkling, preservation system. What else do we have? Fly with Wine. We had Ron Sharman, the owner of Fly with Wine. They are going to be giving us some great travel backpacks that have a bladder and stuff like that. Great for concerts, great for picnics, great for traveling. That's really awesome. We've got John Miles from Sterlite has provided us with some great decanters from Luigi. I think it's Luigi Bosca. Maybe I should probably look that up. But and then some of the wineries are giving some great gifts. We've got some of the 22 wineries. Bormoli, Rocco is the stuff we're going to be giving. Some decanters, some glasses. I don't know why I said Luigi Bosca. I think that's a winery. So thank you to them, and thank you for John for providing that. So it's going to be great. And then we're also going to have a consumer tasting on March 30th, just ironing out some details. But got some great wines. The entry deadline is March 14th at 11:59 p.m. For the first games, the playing games, which we're going to talk about on this little bracketology, will be revealed on Wednesday, March 15th. Remember to go to challonge.com/Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. Don't forget also to subscribe, rate, and review. And big important is comment in the YouTube, but share. The biggest thing is sharing. Wine is such a shareable experience, and so should the Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. Follow us here on YouTube, subscribe, rate, and review. Instagram, Facebook. I like Instagram the best. I think I like pictures. I'm a more visual person. As you could see, I actually shaved and showered today, and I'm wearing pink, the color of winning. Tiger wears red on Sundays. Luke Taylor wears pink, fuchsia, whatever you call it. But thanks to Silvadore Brands. Just remember to go to Silvadore Brands webpage, which will be on the bottom. Go to For Your Home and put in the coupon code Cork and Taylor, and you will receive 10% off your next order. And this stuff is great. I use it all the time. It works. It's funny. I had a couple podcasts where I told Carlton McCoy, I told him that I've got gas and some of the responses and stuff like that. So first place prize, if you enter and win, it's about $1,500. You get some great stuff, $1,600, about $700 in winery gift cards, tasting for 4 at Pride Mountain Winery in Napa Spring Mountain. Second place, about $900. You get a really cool Vin Explorer wine and beverage backpack. Tasting for 4 at Peachy Canyon Vineyards in Paso Robles. About $300 in $300 to $500 in gift cards. Then third place is an Eberly Winery gift pack and a $100 gift card. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Don't forget to sign up. You can sign up as many as you want and follow us. And also, thank you again to Fly with Wine, Coravin, Silvadore Brands. Also, too, if you want to support the podcast, which I appreciate because I love in-person interviews. If anybody knows me, I hate Zoom. I hate doing over the phone. And I think the quality shows. Help us get to more great wineries and great wine places. Join our Patreon Cork and Taylor podcast page, www.patreon.com/Cork and Taylor. That would be appreciated. So without further ado, we are going to announce the bracket, and it's going to be at challenge.com/Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. I got to find it here. We're going to talk about some of the play-in games. I think that's really what I want to hit hard. But 22 wines. The number one seed was the Keenan 2018. Keenan Mernay was the number one seed. The number two seed was a 2018 Dunn Napa Valley Cabernet. So the two bikes, 1 and 2. The third seed was a 2018 Corley Reserve Cabernet. We had Chris Corley on the podcast. And then the fourth seed was a 2019 Dow Soul of a Lion, which is, I actually was drinking that last night. And it's got a nice velvety texture and color. So those were the top of the four seeds. So we had 6 play-in games with 22, and I'm really impressed. I want to thank each winery for participating, and I also want to preface, okay? We have 6 judges. One's Master Somm, Larry O'Brien. I've got some really great people, whether it's, they're all Somms, Jim Fink, Michelle, Yolanda, Wes, John Pogemeyer from Heinen's, who we had on the podcast, and I want to have again because I love the retail aspect of buying and what they're looking at. All these wines are excellent, okay? And there's only one winner, unfortunately. When you do a single elimination head-to-head competition, they don't know what they are. They knew nothing. All they knew it was a red wine. And they had to judge, and I appreciate them, all of them, for their time and their energy, and it really went really well. So the 6 play-in games is first the 2020 Venge Arsenal Bordeaux blend, which is made by Kirk Venge. We had him recently on the podcast, versus a 2019 Rutherford Hill Oakville Merlot. This should be an interesting matchup. I don't know how one this will go because the Rutherford Hill is kind of a big but yet elegant Merlot. And I mean, that's what Rutherford Hill is known for. In 1976, while the rest of the world was just beginning to take notice of Napa Valley, the founders of Rutherford Hill recognized a unique opportunity. They believed that the climate and soil was similar to Pomerol, and what's in Pomerol and works well and suited to it is Merlot. I love Rutherford Hill because I think that's when I started drinking the day I proposed to my wife, and got engaged right below Rutherford Hill at Les Auberges du Soleil. My wife said yes 18 years later, and we just forgot that 3 days ago was one of our anniversaries. We got married twice. Whole legality thing. I love the movie Green Card because of Gérard Depardieu, and I guess I'm a living green card. The funny thing is I'm a citizen now, but a green card, all it is a strip in the back that has a green piece. So I called her neat, and I put her on the wrong finger, wrong hand, but she said yes. So living the dream. If it wasn't for her, the Cork and Taylor Wine Madness might never happen. I might not be in Akron. So who knows? But they faced the 2020 Venge Arsenal Bordeaux proprietary red blend, which is a Bordeaux red blend inspired by the rich history of the left bank of Bordeaux. A very terroir-driven blend. If I had to choose, and this wine's made by Kirk Venge, who is really neat. He called me John. I should have called him Kevin, just to F with him, but I'm not that type of person. So the winner will take on the 2018 Keenan Mernay. I'm probably, if I had to pick, if this is the bracketology show, I would have to say I would probably go with Venge. And no offense to Rutherford Hill, it's a beautiful wine. I just think the judges are going to pick that one. Okay. But both great wines. Next bracket next games is a 2019 Matera Hidden Block Cabernet Napa versus the 2020 Peachy Canyon Divine Cabernet Sauvignon. The Matera means Mother Earth in Latin. It's a beautiful property. Brian Cunat and his brother started or purchased 50 acres in Oak Knoll district of the Napa Valley in 2007. Winemaker Chelsea Barrett is legendary. We had her on the podcast. She comes from great pedigree when you look at her grandfather, who's in the Vintner Hall of Fame, her mom, Heidi, and her dad, Bo. I would love to get all four of them on a podcast, even if I got mom and dad, or daughter and mom, or husband, mom and dad, or grandfather and mom. That'd be fun. So let's work on that, because I feel like we've had everybody from Matera, whether it's Brian Cunat, the owner, the proprietor, Chelsea Barrett, and then Mike Trejillo. I liked it. I just special Trejillo. Mike Trejillo. He was the kind of their first winemaker, and he actually has a wine in this competition. The funny story about Matera Hidden Block is Brian Cunat was looking at it, couldn't find the property. I believe it's up in Diamond Mountain. And the owner who was going to sell him grapes said, you've passed it. So he called it Hidden Block because he couldn't find it. Peachy Canyon, Josh and Jake, we had Beckett are the proprietors. Their dad started Doug. We had a great 3-person podcast with them. 357 cases produced, crafted from their best barrels. I always thought Peachy Canyon was known for their Zinfandel. This wine is legit. Very impressed with this. 81% Cabernet Sauvignon, 12% Malbec, and 7% Syrah. The Matera Hidden Block Cabernet is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. So we have Napa versus Paso. And I'm going to be honest, I really was impressed with Peachy Canyon and Matera Hidden Block, but I'm going to have to go with the Matera Hidden Block. So that's my predictions, and I could be wrong, I could be right. But what do I know? Let's be honest. What do I know? So next bracket is, or next games are an interesting one because I sell both the wines. So I'm going to piss somebody off. But sometimes you just got to guess. Oh, and Matera, I don't know if I said this before, Matera and Peachy Canyon play the winner of 2019 Dow Soul of Lime. So 2016 Kelowna Estate Cabernet versus the 2019 Maryhill Serendipity Proprietors Reserve from lovely Columbia Valley in Washington. Kelowna comes from Chalk Hill in Sonoma. David Jeffrey is the winemaker vintner for this Chalk Hill beauty. 94 points by Jeb Dunnick. Maybe if I pronounce his name, he'd say yes to the podcast. To get on the podcast, I want to have someone like that. Lisa Proddy-Brown, Robert Parker, Antonio Galoni, someone. Jeb Dunnick. I think that would be fun to have a Raider just to get their side of the story. And it's not like I'm putting them on the spot. I am going to honestly say that Kelowna is going to be the sleeper of this tournament for me. 47% Cabernet Sauvignon, 28% Cabernet Franc, 13% Merlot, 9% Petit Verdot, and the rest of it is Malbec. This is delicious. The only thing I worry about the judges with the Kelowna is it's a pretty big, sophisticated wine, and I'm not downplaying the judges' obviously experience, especially Larry O'Brien, who's a friend and trusted agent of the Cork and Taylor Wine Podcast, and is a freaking master somm. So I worry about how that's going to do. The 2019 Maryhill Serendipity Proprietary Red is a red blend comprised of 68% Cabernet Sauvignon, 21% Merlot, 5% Cab Franc, 4% Malbec, and 2% Petit Verdot. It was a 2022 Seattle Wine Award gold medal winner. The winery is owned by Craig and Vicky Luthold. They started it, and we had Craig on the podcast, and Richard Batchelor is the winemaker. And the funny thing is, I can't remember the year. I think it was 2019 in the San Francisco Chronicle International Wine Competition. They're the only non-California winner ever to win Winery of the Year. So this could be a sleeper too. And I don't like this matchup, and I'm kind of pissed off at Challenge about it because both these wines could be sleepers for me in this tournament. Unfortunately, I'm going to say this again because I like saying unfortunately, because I feel like the freaking story of my life is I got to pick one, and I'm going to have to pick Kelowna just because I think it might overpower. It's like the big guys down in the paint in basketball. I love basketball. I love wine. Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. So next matchup is a really interesting one. We've got our first 2020 vintage wine. Oh, no, Peachy Canyon was. But first 20... No, shit, so was Venge. All right, I'll just shut up there. All right, so we got the 2020 Pride Mountain Cabernet Sauvignon from lovely Spring Mountain. It's kind of a cool winery because it's part Napa and part Sonoma. So I guess you could have your left leg in Napa and your right leg in Sonoma. I would say something more inappropriate, but we're not going to talk about balls. We're not talking about balls. It's kind of like Canada. You can have your left foot in Canada and your right foot in America at the same time. And you don't have to be tall to really spread them out. You just go like this. If you could be like this. Faces the 2019 Eberle Estate Cabernet Sauvignon. Gary Eberle with the frickin' singing dogs. I still don't think his frickin' dogs sing. But anyway, so the 2020 Pride Mountain Cabernet Sauvignon is 55% from Napa, 46% from Sonoma, 4,010 cases produced. We have Steve Pride actually on the podcast tomorrow. So this wine excludes elegance and inner beauty. It was creamy, silky, ripe berries. It was really pretty. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't sleep on the 2020 vintages from Napa. If it's producers you like and they're consistent, they are going to be consistent in 2020. Now, there's probably 70% less grapes, but whoever produces stuff it's going to be fantastic. I've had the Peachy Canyon. I've had the Venge. I've had a whole bunch of Venges. I had all the Prides 2020. I had the Hourglass 2020 Blue Line Merlot, which was awesome. Love that wine. So the 2019 Eberle Estate Cabernet Sauvignon is their flagship wine. Had a little light pepper spice to it, probably like a little bit of Gary Eberle, who is a Penn State ex-football player. I'm going to say one thing. Big up to my guy, Jim Fink. Go Blue. Sorry, Gary. Winning 22 points, Wine Enthusiast, and I think it was a seller selection. The winner will play 2018 Dunn Napa Valley Cabernet, and that wine is gorgeous. All these wines are gorgeous. Mike Dunn, I think I had to twist his arm a little bit to do this. What a great dude, and he did it. I don't think he'll ever do it again. But the Dunn is the one I worry about because that's one of my favorite wines in the competition, and I'm saying that to say that I don't sell it. But if I had to choose between Pride and Eberle, I don't know if Eberle will have enough to handle Pride just because you got mountain fruit versus floor flute. I've never played the flute. No, I've never played the flute before, but I think I'm going to have to go with Pride Mountain. So they'll play the winner of the 2018 Dunn Napa Valley Cab. Next wines. We've got two more. The next one is a 2017 Laird Gillian's Estate Red Blend from Napa Valley against the 2020 Austin Hope Cabernet Sauvignon. Both great people and had a good time. This one's going to be... it's really going to come down to subjectivity and judges. They're going to face the 2017 Mira Oakville Cabernet. So obviously you see a theme. They're kind of big, bold reds. So Laird is Brian Mox is a winemaker. This is their only non-varietal, or it's their only non-single varietal red wine they make. It's 64% Cabernet Sauvignon, 23% Syrah, 9% Merlot, 3% Malbec, and 1% Petit Verdot. Laird is a family estate through and through. I sell it. Started in 1970. They own the most planted vineyards in all of Napa. I think about 5%. This is named after their granddaughter Jillian, which is their flagship, like I said before. And it makes you wonder if this is Ken and his lovely bride's favorite grandchild, Jillian, because none of the other grandkids. I'm not starting stuff. I actually just had dinner with Rebecca and Chris, her husband, and Jillian, and what a great family. So they will face the 2020 Austin Hope Estate Cabernet. It has a beautiful red hue. It's soft. You see it everywhere. It's Paso Robles through and through. Has a tinge of sweetness, but not in a bad way. It's kind of like that brown sugar. And Austin Hope's a great dude. I mean, that guy is just 24/7. So I'm going to have to go with, this is kind of a tough one. I'm probably going to have to say the 2017 Laird Estate Jillian's Red Blend. The reason why I say that is Rebecca has not given me any money for the podcast. She's been on the podcast, but the problem is she puts me up when I come to Napa. So I have to pick that wine at least against Austin Hope. Sorry, Austin. If you put me up once or twice in Paso, then I would just flip a coin and heads and tails. But I did not accept any money from any of these wineries, I might add. I will take it. I can be bought. It's February, March. Wine sales suck. $20 is $20, as they say. So I'm going to have to go with the Laird Gillian's Red. The last wine in the play-in bracket is a 2018 Chimney Rock Stag's Leap Cabernet. We have yet to have Elizabeth Vienna on the podcast. We were supposed to have her when I went out, but unfortunately she had some personal stuff come up, and hopefully everything's good. But Megan Driscoll from Toledo was awesome, and she hooked me up with Michael Cody from Rutherford Hill. So we're gonna have Chimney Rock on there, and some of these that are in the pod and in the bracket, you'll be seeing throughout the next couple weeks and stuff like that, like Paloma. Who else did we have on here? That's Rutherford Hill, like I said. We had Pride, we've had Mary Hill. So yeah, pretty much those two. Oh, and Venge just came out. So hopefully next year we have 32. I'd like to get to 32, have a couple more judges. We've got the consumer tasting at the end of the month in Akron, Ohio. If you live in the Akron area, check on our Instagram page, and we'll throw it out in the podcast when we get some more news about it. So 2018 Chimney Rock Stag's Leap Cabernet Sauvignon, gorgeous wine versus the 2018 Brudico Coro. This is going to be an interesting one. I love the Brudico family. Steve's my guy. Shout out to Steve. Big up from Mendocino. The Coro Red Blend. The Coro is a really interesting concept in Mendocino. It's their signature blends, individually crafted in Mendocino County from 100% Menda County grapes. Coro named and inspired from the Latin root for chorus. Interesting blends have a chorus or a joining. Only 329 cases produced, 64% Zinfandel, 90% Carignan, 9% Syrah, 5% Barbera, 3% Merlot. Wine is solid. They face Stag's Leap Cabernet, established in 1984 on the Silverado Trail, and it's white, and it's kind of like the Spanish casita looking. I don't know what the hell it is. I've driven past it many times on the Silverado Trail, but I've never been in. It's a blend of 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, 23% Merlot, 1% Petit Verdot, and 1% Cab Franc. This wine is smooth, and it's just full-bodied. Tannin structure is firm but very polished. I've always been a big fan of Chimney Rock. So this is going to be tough. And, you know, a Cabernet versus a Zin red blend from Mendocino. It could be an upset. I'm gonna have to go with Chimney Rock. I apologize, Steve, and your two brothers and your family, because you're wonderful and I love you. But I'm gonna have to go with Chimney Rock. I just think Cabernet is king in this tournament. I hate to say it, but it's true. They face the 2018 Corley Reserve Cabernet, and I think if Chimney Rock does beat Brudico, that will kind of push an interesting matchup. Some second round games that we're not going to talk about today. We'll talk about them next week. The 2017 Stone Street Cabernet. This is a beauty from Jess Jackson's, I guess it was like their premier, I think it's highest elevation in Alexander Valley. Very impressed with the wine. Actually, Jess Jackson's middle name was Stone Street. I'm going to change my middle name to Stone Street. Luke Stone Street Taylor, LST. They face the 2016 Paloma Estate Merlot. That should be an interesting matchup. Paloma was, we had Sheldon Richards and Caston. I've dealt with him a little bit, and they're just great, and great wines, and right down the street from in between Pride and Keenan. So that was really, really good. And then let's see who else. We've got the... what else do we have? Another matchup is the 2018 Freemark Abbey Cabernet Sauvignon versus a 2018 Honata Todos. So that should be an interesting one too. Honata's, I think, another sleeper. I think Honata can do something, but Freemark Abbey is a historic property. It's under the Jackson family wines, just like Stone Street. Larry did get 2 wines. Larry's been on the podcast multiple times. And after we did the tasting with him and this 5 other judges, he says, I want more next year. I said, well, you got to be on the more podcast wines. He's like, okay. So he'll probably get a couple more. And you know what I love about Larry is he's fair. I will tell you from experiences with him, and then this experience, it is what it is. He says it like it is. So I am inviting you now, okay? Go to challenge.com/Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. Click the link below that's going to be in this video and sign up. You can win great prizes. I think we have like close to $3,000 in prizes from different wineries. Coravin has stepped up. Fly with Wine. We got Silvadore Brands. I mean, we've got just some great prizes in all the wineries. We've got some other stuff that's kind of coming to fruition too right now, and it's going to be great. And we have Bormoli, Rocco doing some things. So get on there. You've got 2 weeks, 2 frickin' weeks. Tell your friends it is free. Free. Let's say it with me. Free. Free. The best 4-letter word that starts with an F. And my kids can say it, and there's no repercussions. Just remember to follow, subscribe, rate, and review on all your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We got a 5-star review, and I'm going to read it next week. And I thank you to that fine lady, and I'm going to talk about her next week a little bit on this podcast because I love her podcast. But we got a 5-star review, and what does that do? That puts us to more wine people. The more positive ratings and reviews we get, the more we get out. Whether you like, whether you comment on YouTube, whether you subscribe, it helps us. It's free, just like this challenge. I thank all the 22 wineries. I hate to pick that there's going to be one winner, but you know what? I didn't pick it. I didn't make it. I didn't pick it. So thank you. Best of luck in the first ever Cork and Taylor Wine Madness. Support all these wineries. They're great people. They're great wines. All of them were excellent. I appreciate them. And you know what I like saying is Luke Taylor out and keep drinking the good stuff.